Ladies and gentlemen, life has a way of testing you. It pushes, it pulls, it knocks you down. And in those moments when you feel the weight of struggle pressing against your chest, you have two choices. You can sit in your pain, complain about how hard it is, and stay stuck, or you can shift your focus. You can lock your eyes on progress, no matter how small, and keep moving forward, because one day, if you refuse to quit, if you refuse to let pain define you, will become the best version of yourself, the person you were always meant to be. Let me tell you something. Pain is temporary, but progress lasts forever. Every one of us has been there. We felt that sting of failure, that moment when life hits you harder than you expect. The pain, whether it's physical, emotional, or mental, has a way of showing up when we least want it. And when it does, it can feel overwhelming. It can feel like the end of the road, like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. And the light at the end of the tunnel is a long way off. But I'm here to tell you that pain is not the destination. It's part of the process, but it is not where your story ends. Every great success story begins with struggle. The road to success is paved with obstacles, setbacks, and yes, pain, but it's also paved with perseverance, determination, and the courage to keep moving forward even when every step feels heavier than the last. Take an everyday person, for instance. A lot of people think of them as the greatest in their field, but they forget the early years, the rejection. They didn't make their initial team. Can you imagine that the future leader, sitting on the sidelines, watching their teammates play, wondering if they had what it took? But did they give up? Did they dwell on the pain of rejection? No, they used that pain to fuel them. They got better, they worked harder, they kept their eyes on the goal, not on the setback. The pain didn't define them, it refined them. It was a part of their journey, but it was not their journey's end. And look at another remarkable individual who was fired from their first professional job. Let that sink in for a minute. A person who would later go on to become one of the most influential figures in the world was told they weren't good enough for their industry. They didn't focus on the pain of being let go. They didn't let that moment of rejection break them. Instead, they kept moving forward. They kept fighting. They found their next opportunity. They focused on their vision. Pain didn't stop them. It was part of the process, just a stepping stone on their path to greatness. And then there's another creative professional who wrote about a young wizard, one of the most successful book franchises in history. But before that success, they faced rejection after rejection. 12 publishers turned them down. You know how many people would have walked away after the first rejection, the second or the third? A lot, but they didn't focus on the pain of those rejections. They focused on the vision they had for their story, for their character. They kept pushing forward. And eventually one publisher gave them a chance, one, and the rest, as they say, is history. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, well, that's easy for them. They're exceptional. They were born to do this. But here's the truth. Those people didn't focus on their pain. They focused on the progress. They focused on the next step, the next opportunity, the next shot. The pain didn't define them. The pain didn't hold them back. It wasn't the end. It was the beginning. And that's what you need to remember. Pain is part of the process, but it is not the destination. Pain is a signal that you are growing, that you are stepping outside of your comfort zone. It's a sign that you are pushing beyond your limits, stretching into new territory, and that's a beautiful thing. You can't grow without it. You can't become the best version of yourself without it. But here's the catch. If you sit in it, if you let it consume you, if you let it paralyze you, then you'll never get to where you're supposed to be. The key is to not let the pain dictate your journey. You've got to acknowledge it, yes, but then you've got to get up and keep moving, shake it off. Don't let it stop you. That's where the real work begins. When things get tough, when you're hurting, when you want to quit, that's when you got to dig deeper, find that strength inside you, and remind yourself that the pain is not the end of your story, it's just a chapter. And you've got so many more pages to turn. Think about it this way. Pain is a moment in time. It's something you feel right now. But it doesn't have to define you. The progress you make in spite of that pain, that's what lasts. That's what makes you stronger. That's what shapes you into the person you're meant to be. You've got to keep going no matter how hard it gets. You've got to keep your eyes on the prize, on the next step, the next opportunity, the next shot. When the world tells you to quit, you've got to be the one who says, not today, not today pain, not today fear, not today self-doubt. Because you know deep down inside, you've got something more in you. You got a future that's bigger than this moment. And no pain, no setback, no challenge is going to take that away from you. I'm telling you this because I believe in you. I know that you've got what it takes to rise above whatever comes your way, but you have to believe it too. You have to decide right here and right now that you won't let the pain stop you. You have to decide that you will push through it, that you will keep moving forward no matter what. Because one day when you look back on this moment, you won't remember the pain. You'll remember the progress. You'll remember how you kept going when everyone else gave up. You'll remember how you rose up from the ashes, how you found your strength, how you became the best version of yourself. And that's what will define you. That's what will make all of this pain worth it. So stand tall, shake it off, and keep moving because the best is yet to come. Imagine this: a person standing in front of a massive boulder, the kind of rock that looks like it's been there for centuries, unmovable, unshakable. They've got a hammer in their hand and they're ready to make an impact. They swing, the hammer hits the rock with all their strength. They swing again, nothing. Another swing, still nothing. Swing after swing over and over, yet the boulder doesn't budge. 10 swings, 50 swings, 100 swings, the rock is as still as it was before, and with each failed swing, it becomes harder to keep going. Most people would quit at this point. They'd throw their hands up, walk away, and decide that the boulder was too big to break. But the person, they keep swinging. 101, and then on the 101st swing, crack, the rock splits wide open. Now let's be real. Did the 101st swing break the rock? No, the 101st swing didn't do it. It wasn't some magical swing that made the boulder crumble. Every single swing before that mattered. Every swing, every ounce of effort, every drop of sweat, it all built up until the breakthrough finally came. It wasn't just that last swing that counted, it was all of them. It was the persistence. It was the determination to keep going even when it seemed like nothing was happening. That's how life works too. The truth is, most of the time, progress doesn't happen in huge, dramatic leaps. We all want to see instant results. We want the payoff to come quickly, to feel the reward right after we put in the effort, but that's not how it works. Sometimes you put in the work and it feels like you're getting nowhere. You keep pushing, keep striving, and yet nothing changes. You don't see the big breakthrough. You don't see the results you want. But that doesn't mean progress isn't happening. Let me tell you something. Small progress is still progress. Every time you take a step forward, no matter how small it is, you are moving closer to your goal. Every late night study session, every extra hour at the gym, every time you decide to show up even when you don't feel like it, that matters. It all counts. It may feel like you're not getting anywhere, but trust me, you are. Every choice you make today is laying the foundation for tomorrow. Small, seemingly insignificant actions you take now are adding up in ways you might not even be able to see yet. I know it can be frustrating. We live in a world that wants everything now. We want the promotion today, the success today, the results today, but that's not how greatness works. You don't get to the top by looking for shortcuts. You get there through consistency, through small steps, through keeping your head down and doing the work even when no one else is looking. When everyone else is telling you that it's too hard or that it's not worth it, you keep pushing forward. Think about a writer who sits down every day to work on their novel. They may write a few pages or sometimes just a few sentences, but each word, each paragraph, no matter how small, brings them one step closer to finishing that book. The progress is slow. There are days when it feels like they're getting nowhere, but if they keep at it, if they keep writing, one day they'll have a finished manuscript. They might not see it right now, but every word is a victory. The same goes for someone working to lose weight, or to build a business, or to get better at a skill. It's easy to look at someone who's already successful and think they've got it all figured out. But what you don't see is the years of work behind the scenes. What you don't see is the slow, steady progress they made, step by step, day by day, until it finally paid off. And when it does, people look at them and say, wow, look at that success. But they don't see the grind, the small steps that got them there. You might not see results today. You might not see them tomorrow. But I need you to understand this. You are getting closer. Every time you take action, every time you move forward, you are making progress, even if it doesn't feel like it. The breakthrough is coming, but it won't happen if you quit. It won't happen if you give up before the 101st swing. So what do you do when the progress feels slow? You keep going. You keep swinging. You keep putting in the work, even if it feels like you're not making a dent, because I promise you are. Each small step is leading you somewhere. Each moment of discipline, each choice to keep going is another piece of the puzzle. The results may not be obvious now, but one day you'll look back and you'll see how far you've come. You've got to stay focused. Don't get discouraged by the lack of immediate results. Don't let the setbacks, the failures, or the slow progress stop you. It's all part of the process. It's all part of the journey. And trust me, it's all worth it. Because when that rock finally cracks, when that breakthrough moment happens, you'll know that every step, no matter how small, led you to that place. So don't stop. Don't quit. Every swing, every bit of effort, every moment of determination counts. Keep your eyes on the goal and keep swinging. The progress is happening, even if you can't see it yet. Stay the course, and one day you'll stand at the top looking back, and you'll know that every small step you took was worth it. Keep moving forward. Your mind is the battlefield. It's where the war for your future is fought and won. You see, every challenge you face, every hardship that comes your way begins in your mind. How you choose to think about it, how you choose to perceive it, will determine the outcome. Too many times we let pain, failure, and fear dictate how we think, and when that happens, we lose control. Pain becomes the commander of our thoughts, and when pain controls your thoughts, it controls your life. But here's the thing, you don't have to let it. The moment you take control of your mindset, that's when you take control of your future. Let me give you an example. Imagine two people facing the same situation, both struggling, both enduring hardship. One person, when life throws them a curveball, says, "Why is this happening to me? Why is this so hard? What did I do to deserve this?" They become consumed by the pain. They spiral into victimhood. They start to believe that they are powerless, that life is happening to them, that they are at the mercy of their circumstances. The other person, however, when faced with the same situation, says, "What is this teaching me? How can I use this to grow? Or what can I learn from this experience?" They refuse to let the pain define them. Instead, they use it as fuel to keep pushing forward. They become unstoppable. And that right there is the difference. It's all in the mindset. Both people are going through the same struggle, but the person who chooses to see the opportunity in the obstacle, the lesson in the pain, is the one who will rise above it. The person who sees themselves as a victim will remain stuck, but the person who sees themselves as a warrior, a student of life, will keep moving, keep growing, and eventually break through the struggle. Champions don't just have talent. No, it's not just about being gifted. If talent alone were enough, we'd see success stories everywhere. But the reality is, champions have something more. They have mental toughness. They train their minds to look at obstacles not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones. They see strength in struggle. They see growth in pain. They don't run from the tough times. They lean into them. They embrace the challenge, knowing that on the other side, they will be stronger, smarter, and more resilient. Now, this is where the real work happens. It's not about avoiding the hard times, running away from pain, or pretending it doesn't exist. No, the real power comes from training your mind to push through the hard times. When life knocks you down, when everything seems impossible, the person who has trained their mind won't stay down for long. They will rise because they know that the pain isn't permanent. They know that it's not a punishment, it's a lesson. It's not a wall, it's a door waiting to be opened. The hardest times of your life are often the moments that shape you the most, that reveal your true character, that teach you what you're really made of. Think about it. Every challenge, every difficulty is an opportunity to build mental toughness. It's an opportunity to strengthen your mind, to sharpen your resolve, to teach yourself that no matter what life throws at you, you can handle it. But that only happens if you decide to view the challenge differently. If you choose to see pain as part of the process as part of your growth, then it no longer has the power to control you. You have the power. You decide how you respond. And when you choose to respond with strength, with resilience, with the belief that you will overcome, that's when you set yourself on a path to greatness. You want to know why some people rise above their circumstances while others fall apart? It's because of their mindset. There are countless stories of people who had everything stacked against them, no money, no resources, no opportunities, but they had one thing that nobody could take away: their mindset. They chose to see their struggles as fuel, not as a dead end. They chose to believe that every setback was just a setup for a comeback. And because they had that mindset, they kept going. They didn't quit when it got hard. They didn't let fear or doubt take over. They trained their minds to see possibilities where others saw none. Now, I know it's not easy. Life isn't fair. It's going to test you over and over. But the key to making it through the toughest of times is to hold on to the right mindset. You can't control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. You can't control the obstacles in your path, but you can control whether you let them break you or build you. The moment you shift your mindset, everything changes. You start to see obstacles as opportunities, struggle as strength, and failure as a lesson. When you change your thoughts, you change your actions. And when you change your actions, you change your life. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are the creator of your destiny, and it all begins with your mindset. The way you think about yourself, about your life, and about your future is what will determine the kind of life you lead. You have the power to shape your future, but it starts with taking control of your mind. If you let your thoughts be controlled by fear, by pain, by doubt, then you'll never reach your full potential. But if you train your mind to see the opportunities, to see the strength in every struggle, you'll unlock a power within yourself that can't be stopped. So don't let your pain control you. Don't let your circumstances define you. Decide who you are, and you decide what you're capable of. Your mindset determines your future. Choose to make it a powerful one. Choose to make it unstoppable. Think about who you want to be in 5 years. Close your eyes and picture that person, the stronger version of you, the wiser version, the one who's weathered storms and walked through fire and come out on the other side. That person is not a distant dream. That person is counting on you right now. At this very moment, you are laying the foundation for that future self. And every decision you make today, every step you take now, is either building that future or holding it back. You see, the actions you take today have a direct impact on who you become tomorrow. The choices you make in the face of adversity, the way you respond when things aren't going your way, those moments matter. If you quit today, if you let the weight of the pain, the frustration, the setbacks stop you from moving forward, then you're not just letting yourself down in the present, you're letting your future self down. The person you dream of becoming, the one who's sitting on the other side of all these struggles, waiting to reap the rewards of your hard work, they're counting on you to keep going. Every time you let pain control your actions, every time you give in to the temptation to quit, you are robbing that future self of the greatness they could have achieved. The dream, the success, the person you want to be, they won't just magically appear one day. It takes every single step you take now to build that future. You can't skip the process, you can't cut corners, but if you keep showing up, even when you don't feel like it, even when you're not seeing the results right away, you're putting in the work that will bring that future self to life. Imagine looking back 5 years from now. Think about how proud you'll be when you realize that you didn't quit, that you didn't let the pain stop you, that you kept pushing even when it felt like it wasn't worth it. That version of you, the one who's conquered challenges, built resilience, and mastered their craft, they're already there waiting for you. And one day, when you finally reach that place, you'll look back on everything you went through and realize that all of it was worth it. Every sacrifice, every struggle, every moment of doubt. It will all make sense when you're standing in the success that you fought for. But you have to keep going. You have to keep pushing even when it's hard, because that future self, Your future greatness, it doesn't just show up without your effort. It's waiting for you, but you have to earn it. You have to work for it. The person you want to become doesn't magically appear because you wish for it. They're forged in the fires of every challenge, every failure, every setback. They're shaped by your perseverance, your discipline, and your willingness to keep going when it would be easier to quit. Think about how many people give up just before the breakthrough. How many people throw in the towel when they're so close to something greater? They don't see it in the moment, but I'm telling you right now, that breakthrough is closer than you think. And if you quit now, you'll never know what could have been. But if you keep going, if you push past the pain and keep showing up every day, you'll be amazed at how things start to fall into place. That future self you're envisioning is not some distant, unreachable goal. It's within your grasp, but you've got to do the work. You see, this journey isn't just about what you accomplish in the next year, the next month, or even the next week. It's about what you're willing to do every single day, no matter how small or insignificant it might seem in the moment. It's about building the habits, the mindset, the resilience that will carry you through the tough times. It's about showing up, even when you don't feel like it, even when the results aren't immediate. Your future self is counting on you to do the hard work today. They're counting on you to push through the tough moments, to rise above the challenges, to keep grinding even when the road feels long and uncertain. They're watching you right now, and they're waiting for you to make the decision that no matter what, you will not quit. You will keep going. You will keep showing up. You will keep working. And one day, when you look back, you'll see that every sacrifice, every struggle, every single moment of doubt was worth it. Because the truth is, that version of you, the stronger, wiser, more successful you, isn't some distant version that only exists in a dream. They're out there and they're waiting for you to show up and claim your future. Every step you take today is a step closer to them. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to shape the person you will become. And when you reach that place, you will see that every bit of effort, every ounce of strength, every decision to keep going when it felt impossible, it was all worth it. So don't give up, keep going, because your future self is counting on you. Listen to me carefully. Success is not about perfection. It's not about being flawless or always getting things right. Too many people believe that if they just do everything perfectly, then they'll be successful. But that's a myth. Perfection is an illusion. Life doesn't work like that. You'll never be perfect, and that's okay. The real key to success is not about avoiding mistakes or never stumbling along the way. It's about resilience. It's about your ability to bounce back, to learn from every failure, and to keep moving forward. The people who make it aren't the ones who've never fallen. They're the ones who get up every time they do. They keep going, they keep pushing, and they don't let the setback stop them. Think about all the stories we hear about people who failed over and over again, who were told they weren't good enough, who were knocked down more times than they could count, but somehow they kept going. An everyday person was told they lacked imagination, but they didn't let that define them. They didn't give up. They kept going, they kept dreaming, and they changed the world in ways that no one could have predicted. Then there's a creative professional, one of the most beloved franchises of all time. Before they became a household name, they were rejected by 12 different publishers. 12. They could have quit after the first rejection. They could have let those no's crush their spirit, but instead they saw them as part of the journey. They didn't give up. They didn't let those rejections determine their worth. They kept going, and because they did, they built a legacy that will last for generations. And what about an inventor? That person failed thousands of times before they finally succeeded. Thousands of times. Now, how many of us would have quit after 100 failures, let alone thousands? But they didn't see failure as the end. They didn't see it as a reason to stop. They saw it as part of the process. Every time something didn't work, they learned from it. They grew stronger, smarter, more determined, and eventually they succeeded in a way that changed the world forever. What's the lesson here? These people didn't succeed because they were perfect. They didn't get everything right on the first try. No, they succeeded because they had resilience. They didn't let failure define them. They didn't let mistakes stop them from moving forward. They kept learning, they kept growing, and most importantly, they kept going. Perfection is an illusion. It doesn't exist. There's no such thing as a perfect path to success. You will make mistakes, you will face setbacks, you will stumble, but the question isn't whether or not you'll fail. The question is how you respond when it happens. Are you going to quit? Are you going to let your mistakes stop you? Or are you going to get up, dust yourself off, learn from what went wrong, and keep moving forward? That's what separates the ones who make it from the ones who don't. The ones who make it are the ones who understand that progress is real. Progress is something you can control, it's something you can measure, and it's something you can achieve, no matter how small the steps may be. Every time you get back up after a fall, that's progress. Every time you learn from a mistake, that's progress. Every time you push forward, even when the road gets tough, and eventually, all those small steps of progress add up to something great. So when you make a mistake, and trust me, you will, it's okay. You're not a failure because you stumble. You're a failure when you decide not to get back up. What matters is that you learn from the mistake, you grow from it, you take the lessons, and you use them to make yourself better, stronger, and more determined than before. Progress is all about growth. It's about making the decision to keep going, no matter how difficult the path might seem. I know there will be moments when you feel like giving up. I know there will be times when the road seems too long, too hard, and you wonder if it's even worth it. But in those moments, remember this: perfection is not the goal. Growth is. Resilience is. You don't have to get everything right. You don't have to have all the answers, but you do have to keep moving, keep pushing, keep learning, because that's how success is built, on resilience, not perfection. Think about how far you've come already. Think about how many times you've overcome obstacles, how many times you've kept going when others would have quit. That's the spirit of resilience. That's what makes you strong, and that's what will carry you through every challenge, every setback, every failure. Keep pushing, keep learning, keep growing, because as long as you don't give up, you will succeed. And when you do, you'll look back and realize that it wasn't perfection that got you there. It was your resilience, your ability to keep moving forward no matter what. That's what will make you the best. Never focus on the pain. Never let the struggle be the thing that defines you. Pain is part of the journey, but it's not the destination. When you focus on the pain, it's easy to lose sight of where you're going. You get trapped in the discomfort, the frustration, the fatigue. But that's not where greatness lives. Greatness is found in the progress. It's in the moments when you choose to rise after falling, when you decide that the pain will not be your story, but the strength you gain from it will be. Because one day, when you look back, when you wake up and realize you pushed through the hardest moments, when you've weathered the storm and stood tall, you will see how far you've come. You will see that you've become the best. But let me make this clear, it won't happen by luck. It won't happen by chance. You won't wake up one day and suddenly be the person you've always dreamed of being. No, you will become the best because of the choices you make today. It's about the decision you make every single day, to get up, to keep pushing, to keep fighting, even when it feels like everything is against you. It's about the choice to not let the setbacks define you, but to let them strengthen you, to not let the pain hold you back, but to use it as fuel for the journey ahead. You see, greatness doesn't come from avoiding the hard times. It doesn't come from taking the easy road. No, greatness is built in the trenches, in the moments when no one is watching, when the work is tough, and when everything in you says to quit. It's in those moments, when you choose to stand tall in the face of adversity, when you refuse to bow down to the pain and the doubt, that you begin to shape the person you are becoming. Those moments are what set the foundation for the best version of you. And there will be times when the road gets long, when the progress feels slow, when you wonder if it's all worth it. But you have to keep going. You have to believe that the best version of yourself is just around the corner. Because trust me, your best days are not behind you. They're ahead of you. They are waiting for you to rise. They are waiting for you to make the choice that today and every day you will refuse to give up. You will refuse to let the hard times stop you. You will refuse to let the pain define who you are or where you're going. Your best days are out there, They are calling you to keep moving, to keep striving, to keep building the life and the legacy that only you can create. Think about it. How many times have you faced challenges that you thought you couldn't overcome? How many times have you thought about quitting? But here you are, standing strong, pushing through, moving forward. Every day you're a little closer to the best version of yourself. Every choice you make, every step you take, no matter how small, is bringing you closer to that person who has conquered everything that tried to break them. And when you finally get there, when you finally become the best version of yourself, you'll look back and realize that none of it was by chance. It wasn't luck. It was all because you chose to keep going. You chose to focus on progress, not pain. The road won't be easy. The journey will have its ups and downs, but it's the choice to keep going, to keep building, to keep believing that will get you to the top. You are capable of more than you can even imagine right now. You've got strength inside you that you haven't even tapped into yet. And it's not about waiting for the right moment or the perfect circumstances. It's about showing up every single day, doing the work, staying focused on the progress you're making, no matter how small it seems. It's about refusing to let the setbacks stop you. You've got a future ahead of you, one that's filled with everything you've been working for, everything you've been fighting for. But none of that happens unless you keep going. Your best days aren't behind you. They're ahead of you, and they are waiting for you to rise, waiting for you to claim them. So don't stop now. Don't quit when it gets tough. Keep believing in yourself. Keep building the future you deserve, because the best version of you is just ahead, and you're the only one who can bring them into existence. Keep going, keep pushing. Your best is waiting.